So last week I was explaining that everyone was wrong about the Scorpions because the showrunners said that the Scorpion, which was the big like mounted bow and arrow, it didn't work well last year. Qyburn went back to the drawing board and he made it better. So I'm like, guys, would you just accept this reasonable explanation? So then this week comes along, and what, he make it worse? He made it worse? He made them ineffective? Suddenly I'm fussing, and
crossbow accuracy has been nerfed. Euron's bonus for speed and range has also been removed.
Mm-hmm.
It was like,
dude, we should have known the show was going to end dumb when they named a dragon Drogon.
Dude,
that's lame. That's a silly ass name.
When G.R.R. Martin said, here's what there was. This is born out of a Reddit post, and a lot of people have copied this idea since then. So G.R.R. Martin gave the showrunners D&D how it was going to end. And he didn't flush it out. They don't have books to follow anymore, but they do have kind of the finish line. So they know where the end is. They just don't know how to get there. And with that seed planted, the last 2 or 3 years start to really make sense. Like, that's why there's these clumsy fast travels going on. That's why people are doing character turns really weird. Character arcs that were a nice, slow, incredible, even burn for 5 years just started zigzagging like the floppy guy in front of a car dealership in the last 2. It doesn't make any sense because all he did was give him the finish line. But I bet this idea that Dany has a character arc turn to be Mad Queen, that Jon Snow does this, and Jaime dies under the castle with Cersei. I bet those things, those finish lines, are all right. It's just that the direction there, it wasn't filled in, and the showrunners don't do it as well as G.R.R. Martin. And one last thing, I'm sorry, I don't want G.R.R. Martin to get off scot-free on this. Everyone says he did a great job, but the showrunners did a bad job. Nay. He didn't do a job at all in the second half.
He's finished the last 2 books.
That he denies that's true.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that came out as a rumor, and then I saw many articles say that wasn't true.
You know, something else that's should piss you off if you haven't heard it, Woody, or all of us, is that HBO offered D&D, the writers and the producers, they're like, hey, the same budget will just give you multiple more episodes. You can go up to 10, fuck it, 12 if you want to. And they're like, no, we don't need that time. We'll just do it in 6.
You know why?
So
I have a theory
to get this shit done. They've ruined this series.
I have a theory that I came up with just last night about what happened and why this all has gone down. And I'm just making it up. I'm just assuming.
Don't let that stop you.
This is all. This is the only thing that makes sense in my mind for this thing to take such a left turn. I think that they're getting they have a fixed budget, right? Or a fixed pay scale. They're like D&D get like, I'm making a number up, $100,000 an episode that goes to them. And no matter how many episodes, that's what they get. But they have made one of the biggest shows of all time. It is the goose that's laying golden eggs. If they wanted to do another season, they could do another season. My thought process is they want out of this current contract. They want Game of Thrones over so that they can make the next project for HBO and then go to HBO and say, hey, remember that $1 billion we made you on selling DVDs and getting new subscriptions? Do you want the next goose? Because next time it's $500,000 for each of us for each episode.
That's a really bad negotiation technique to write the show that kind of made your name in a way that all of your fans or the vast majority are upset with you by the end of the series, and then trying to parlay that now ruined relationship into more business. Like
everyone's upset that they're doing Star Wars next.
But quickly, that's a gorgeous bowl of ramen. I wish I had one now. I wasn't hungry till I saw it.
I'm just saying, it is very delicious.
I showed it to everybody.
But the worst part of that whole episode, there's so much dumb shit that happened that just didn't make sense. It was just, the worst part though was the destruction of Jaime's entire storyline. His entire up, down, very, it had been and then like his whole thing at the end, or saying like why he was going back, like, oh, I don't give a fuck about the people or the innocents. And it's like, it's been established 5 times with different quotes over the years since you took your initial good guy turn that you do care. That was your rationale for killing the Mad King. That was the reason that you were trying to talk sense into so many, bad faith, characters throughout the series, and you were in your good thing. And then he just, I guess the only reason to go north for Jaime was to fuck Brienne, and then he goes back and dies with Cersei there. It doesn't make so what was the fucking point of his entire story arc. Shit. Like
well,
there was no
here's
growth.
the thing.
He was always a piece of shit, though.
He was good for a while, though.
He did have moments, but here's
He saved
I
Brienne's
like
life.
the
Kept her from
bullet
being raped.
point of
I'm gonna let.
war is complicated, right? So the Northmen come in, they battle for, I don't know, 8, 12 minutes, and then start raping chicks, right? You know, of course, Jon Snow protects the girl or whatever. They're 8 minutes in. Arian, you expect them to take a break. This is a union job. So, so anyway, yeah, like 8 minutes into the war, I think the timing's right on that. They start raping girls, but
They didn't even win yet, though.
yeah, I know it's still going. No, they rang the bells and shit. But
And Jorah warned him about that. It's like, Khaleesi, you can't bring Dothraki hordes into the
it
Western
wasn't a
Sea."
Dothraki. It was a Northman, and that's important
it was a
because
North, yeah.
Oh, it was both of them,
they were driving home the point that war is ugly, bad things happen, and throughout the whole series, they've been driving home the point of good is bad and bad is good. These things are grayer than you think, and all these gray characters, as opposed to black and white, was one of the beautiful parts about Game of Thrones. But then it just got done really clumsily, in a clumsy way.
I think it just got rushed. They tried to fit it into 6 episodes and they got rushed. I'm thoroughly happy and pleased with it still, though, because I couldn't make a better show than that with what they did. That's a beautiful. So however they choose.
That's not the standard. I don't watch a show and say, you know, Arian Foster could have done better than that.
That's going to be my new take on every movie and show. Well, I mean, it's better than what Arian Foster never even directed a movie.
I think he could have done better. No, but I think just that's just how I gauge art in general, right? It's like, could I have, or not even could I, just like, I just appreciate what they gave to us. Like, I still enjoy
They didn't give it though, Arian. They sold it to us.
They did.
They sold
Dude,
it
I've
to
never
us.
gone to a mechanic and been like, well, they fucked my engine up, but I couldn't have done better.
That's different, though.
I don't know. It sounds exactly parallel.
I will say this,
You
Arian.
need an engine. You don't need a Game of Thrones.
That's true.
It's luxury. It's
You
not
could have
it's
done a
just a
better
silly
job
show.
with The Force Awakens, though. You could have done better.
Oh, I just
Force- what
I
is-
like that more than Kyle
The
did.
Star Wars
That's
movie.
this.
Last Star Wars movie.
I haven't seen the Star Wars movie. though.
I haven't
Good.
either.
Just avoid that shit. Just
I'm
avoid
good.
all you got.
I'm
with-
with Star Trek. Star Trek. I mean, yeah, that's my shit. You always get like there's these two Crips and the Bloods things.
I love that you made that parallel. I like the idea. So some people love to hate things, and I love to love things. Like I'm not
Kyle.
quick to throw stuff at Game of Thrones all the time, but after watching, I'm like, man, that was an hour and 20 minutes, maybe. And it was like 50 minutes of just dragons flying around doing special effects.
They did a lot. Okay, did y'all enjoy at least the
Game Bowl?
the episode before the
Oh.
war? The
Oh,
big
we
war
hated
with
the war. I hated the war. I hated that.
I didn't like
That
that.
was
The Battle of the
amazing.
Was way better than that.
Here's
Way
my
better.
thing.
That was a great war.
Yeah, that was a great one.
Episode 2, everyone loved it, right? They all knew they were gonna die. They're singing around. Podrick sang, and he can sing. They've been keeping that bullet in the chamber for 8 years now, and I'm amazed.
Huge cock, can sing.
Yes.
Knows how to cook. Cool guy.
He's the killing machine. So like episode 2 was amazing, and then episode 3 happened, and it made 2 worse because all of them, sort of dealing with how they faced their death, didn't die.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I'd say this: I didn't like the Game Bowl either. I didn't like it, and let me tell you. And look, we were waiting on it for so long that just seeing anything, I'm sure when it happened in the moment, we were all like, "It's happening finally." Good. Anything they put on the screen, I'm enjoying. That's how I was. But then I thought back, and I'm like, "But wait a minute." The best fight in this show that there's ever been, I think, was when Oberyn Martell, the Red Viper of Dorne, fought the Mountain.
No question.
Yeah,
This
that was cool.
they're out in the open. There's this great fight choreography, like professional, like best bet, as good as any movie.
He killed that shit.
You could, it's
Mhm.
bright daylight. We can see everything. They're actually fighting. You got two very desperate fighting styles, completely different. The quick, agile guy with the spear and the gigantic, powerful, lumbering guy with this long sword as big as a man. It was great to watch, and the ending, of course, was just ripped a heart out of your chest. As
Fucked me
it was
up.
awful.
Yeah.
The
That was
Clegane
great.
Bowl. The
And then I
Clegane
broke her
Bowl,
head like this.
Tripping.
the Clegane Bowl was in that stairwell, all dark and dusty, and they kept cutting away from it so we could see Arya getting tossed about by rubble. I'm fine. I want to know what happens to Arya. Okay. But make that a different fucking scene. Show me them fighting. Show me them fighting on that staircase, and show me something.
Arya's
Like,
makeup was incredible.
Yeah,
I was impacted
Yeah,
by it.
let's let Arya.
No, I was gonna say it was like it was like 8 season buildup of the Mountain and the Hound about to go at it, and it was a little anticlimactic. But I enjoyed the way he took him out though.
Yeah,
And heights
into
of
the fire,
It was
dude.
dope. It
So
was
my
dope.
personal Clegane Bowl, I knew it was happening. I saw them head into the like they were headed up the stairs. There's the rubble. He tells Arya to turn back. I cue up the video because I know it's going down, and then I play this. I was so excited. I was like it, and I played it and I loved it, and it was everything I hoped it would be. Now this video plays for like 4 seconds and then there's silence, so I forgot about it. And I hear another so yeah, I heard yours. And then I heard another air horn. I'm like, oh, they put it in there. Oh, okay, a little fan service, whatever. And then again, and then again, and again.
Wait. You thought they put the air horn in the Game of Thrones?
Because I'm hearing it and I don't understand why it's still playing. Well, there's an autoplay of another air horn video on my computer, and it fooled me for a bit. And it wasn't the down, 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 down. It was just a single air horn.
Why do you have so many air horn videos?
Because it autoplayed into like 10 hours of air horns. And it just played one like blast. And I'm like, oh, there was an errant air horn blast in Game of Thrones. And then like another one. And I'm like, what the flip? Like, why is there an air horn blast? Yeah, it's
Something else that sucked with the episode that I can get over a little bit if I try and rationalize it to myself. And I've been reading explanations that have helped a little bit, but it's like, Daenerys is just suddenly deciding to burn the city doesn't make sense, and the way and people will be like, well, but she's going. And I'm interested in your take. People will be like, oh, she's going mad though, and it's like, well, no, I think you're like people are confusing like madness, going crazy, mad for blood, mad for fire, with irrationality. She's been irrational the entire series, but every time she's gone blood and gore, she's spared innocents. It's been, oh, this is the greater good to get people out of trouble. Oh, I'm crucifying these people because they're slave owners and they're evil and whatnot. And so for her to have already won the battle, for it to be over, she could fly straight to the Red Keep and burn Cersei and all them if she wants. And then she decides to just lay waste to everyone. It just, like, maybe, and the rationale I've heard is like, oh, she was so afraid of Jon stealing her seat that she decided I have to establish fear among everyone so they don't betray me. And it was just like, that doesn't feel like Dany. She's stressed so many times, like, I'm not my father's daughter in that way. I'm not like that. I'm not out to just burn and kill and everything. So it didn't make that much sense to me.
Right. I thought that too. And then I read this Twitter thread, right? And it's my guy, and he put together a thread with all kind of receipts. He said, my thoughts on Daenerys Targaryen, and she's always been one of the most beloved characters. This season is rushed, hard to flesh out each character arc. With that being said, Dany has shown multiple occasions the capacity and willingness to burn down cities. A thread, and he just went down and he named
rips
time
them
after
off.
time.
Do you have them in front of you?
I do have him in front of me. I have to open the thread up though, because I just.
I'm glad, because I was gonna go down the same road as him, but I don't have the recall.
Yeah. All right, so okay, Dany has. Do you want me to just put it to the mic, or
is it audio?
He has clips from the actual show. Is insane. Yeah, so
can we have the audio on here or no?
It's a pretty good mic, man. I can.
All right.
I was meaning like, will YouTube get us in trouble?
Not if he plays it through his mic.
Yeah, it's not gonna sound anything like the show.
Fair enough.
He said, Dany has explicitly said from the very early on her intentions of burning down whatever and whoever to take the Iron Throne. So don't act surprised that she burned down King's Landing. This was earlier on. I think it was like season 2 or something like that.
Yeah, I mean.
I am Daenerys.
Here you go.
I am not your little princess. I am Daenerys Stormborn of the blood of old Valyria, and I will take what is mine. With fire and blood, I will take it. I am.
So like, and it's just time after, and this one when the 13 of Karth turned Dany away. She told them when her dragons were grown, they would burn cities to the ground. Turn us away, and we'll burn you first. And so this.
When my dragons are grown, We will take back what was stolen from me and destroy those who have wronged me. We will lay waste to armies and burn cities to the ground.
So like that. So like it was just time after time after time after time, and I was like, "Yo, this is crazy." You put that much work into it, but
the internet's crazy.
Like, when you say I'll burn cities to the ground, you don't mean you're gonna vacate the innocent people. You're gonna burn the shit down. So it's like she has shown that throughout the entire of her.
There are a number of
her
times
character
that
arc.
she got talked back by Tyrion or
Barristan Selmy or whatever that guy's name was.
Barristan Selmy, Jorah, Tyrion. Tyrion, by the way, who has become a retard in the last few
What do you
seasons.
mean?
He has not given a single piece of good advice in years at this point.
His character was making fun of it.
The shit with
the actor. I mean,
the actors like Peter Dinklage was making fun of it. It was shit like fucking. First of all, the way he sold out Varys, who is the only reason he escaped alive from King's Landing after he killed Tywin and his fucking whore bride, his French whore bride, which is also a funny part of the show. They're like, she's foreign, so she speaks with a French accent. And so, but like selling out Varys immediately. Varys' actor, by the way, came out and was like, I feel like my character has been off the rails since the 6th season. He said that in an interview. And it just was not in keeping with Tyrion at all, because he already had the look of concern of like, oh, I'm really stressed out that she's kind of losing her mind and getting unstable. And so I'm gonna immediately sell out my friend to her. Surely she won't burn him alive. Oh, but Varys, he's very sneaky. That's why he'll spend 5 hours writing on the same piece of paper a treasonous note in Daenerys's fucking castle.
That dude needs to write a little faster, right?
How did Varys go from the smartest, most cleverest guy ever? Varys and Tyrion go from so clever and so smart to just blithering buffoons. Like
you know what bothers me the most?
That one.
You know what really bothers me? You remember when the Golden Company's been pumped up for like ever? The Golden Company are coming, and I was like, holy shit, the Golden Company, huh? Those sound like some hard motherfuckers. And they showed up, and they were dressed well. And then I played this video game called Total War, and in that you control your armies, and there's actually a city defense mode where like 2 guys try to attack my city, and I've got walls and I got a smaller army and they got a bigger army to make up for the fact that I got walls. Because when you're behind the walls, it's real easy to defend a city. You're shooting down at them. They're trying to climb walls. You're swinging down. They're swinging up. It's literally, you hear the idiom about punching down. Why did we send the entire Golden Company army outside the gates of the biggest city in the realm and have them line up in formation in front of the Dothraki horde and the Northman army? Why? Why aren't they on the walls?
Also, and by the way, was there an archer at any point in that entire battle? No, they didn't put any archers on the fucking walls. None.
They had scorpions on the walls. They didn't use them, but scorpions on the walls.
I didn't see a single scorpion fire at a person, and those scorpion operators, you would have look. If I'm the king of King's Landing, my scorpion operators somebody's been slinging pots up in the air for months now, and I've been like, there's been some 8 chest of gold reward for the guy who can hit the most pots in a row or some shit.
You pull and then you're firing scorpions and pots. Yeah. All right, I follow.
These people are, they're probably hungry. The winter just has ended. The magical winter. Look, the fucking 100 pieces of gold to the best scorpion operator in the city. Now but you could practice is free. Everybody's showing up. There's long lines at the scorpions, and somebody's watching, taking notes. That guy right there can operate a fucking scorpion. He's got the knack. Get it. Little Mikey, come over here. You're our scorpion operator. Yeah, we'll pay you. Yeah, we've got plenty.
This is the plot of the 1980s movie Starfighter, where they played a video game to save the planet.
They used the Starfighter plot. All right, it's actually the last Starfighter.
Thank you.
That's not a good movie at all.
No, that's a good example of 1980s CGI.
Yeah, when they had Arya running through the city, dodging all the bricks falling and everything.
Yeah.
For like a half hour.
Yeah.
Like, I wish that they had picked Sir Davos to be that guy, because I've learned over this season that Like at
He's
no
the
point
Onion
was I
Knight?
like,
The Onion?
yeah,
Oh,
the Onion Knight, because he grew up in Flea Bottom in King's Landing, whereas Arya has no connection there. And so him running around dodging stuff, first of all, when Arya's running around at this point, there is no fear or anxiety in my body. I'm like, she's gonna be fine. They've established this. She's not gonna die. And so all these little like, oh, is she dead? Like those moments that were supposed to happen, like I didn't feel that way. But if it was Sir Davos, first of all, he has a better connection to the city because he grew up in Flea Bottom. And so he could have that, mortified or horrified look of like what's going on in his city at the time. Just all the places he used to know burned, all the people that he used to live by burned. But
he's not a red shirt.
He's not a red shirt. And if he were dodging those falls, I'd be like, oh shit, Davos hasn't gotten out of anything like with a Deus Ex Machina or whatever the hell it is. So he might actually be dead. Whereas with Arya,
you could give him
I
a
didn't
mission,
feel like anything
right?
was at stake.
You give him a reason to have to go in there, like his fucking great uncle is at the blacksmiths and back in Flea Bottom. He's trying to
Grey
get him
Worm's
out.
raping all those men. The Gold Club. I don't know how he doesn't have a cock. But that was a nice little twist when Grey Worm decided, like, nah, I'm just gonna murder people who already surrendered.
Yeah, that was wild.
That was a character arc
I didn't
that
mind
didn't make tons
because
of sense to me.
I didn't really care about the Golden Company because they'd already proven they were useless.
Those were the Lannister armies, but
he was like what was his?
He flipped May Sunday, something like that.
Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday. Yeah, she got off right in front of him, so he kind of lost it. You can kind of.
That's a good example of what I mentioned before, where like G.R. Martin gave him a bullet point. Okay. Grey Worm's gonna flip over May Sunday, something like that. Cersei is gonna die. Lannister is gonna be bad after all. Northmen gonna be rapists. They have all these things. Like war is ugly. Good guys, bad guys alike. They're all gonna do ugly things. You know who's gonna behave with honor? The Lannister army. Oddly,
Jon Snow. I'm getting sick of his goodness. I'm getting tired of his goodness.
His goodness, I'm okay with it, but it needs to get him killed. Wait, hear me out.
He could have just thrown Dany some dick.
Listen. So I bet you had no problem with Ned's goodness, right? Ned, that's who he was. He was good.
That was my guy,
right? And he got killed. So
but
I am happy for that to happen to Jon Snow.
I was gonna be cool if Jon Snow died. I wasn't hanging on him. I just Arya. If Arya died, I would have been pissed.
I want them to kill someone I don't want to die.
At this point, it's just like at this point, I don't care if Tyrion dies because he hasn't been clever in years.
I don't care what the fuck happens anymore.
Yeah, Jon is the only, and I'm right. Jon is a fucking idiot. How many times can he make the same mistakes?
Yeah.
Here's what I want the last episode to be. I want fucking Ned Stark to wake the fuck up and look at Catelyn and be like, I just had the most horrible dream.
What was it? St. Elsewhere Fire or something?
By the gods! Kick Theon the fuck out!
I would
or if he
from HBO.
St. Elmo's
he wakes up and he's like still talking to Robert Baratheon and Winterfell, and he's like, and that's why I can't go to King's Landing.
Just a
You've
story.
always had a wild imagination. There's no way that's gonna happen.
I love that hot take. That's the best.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going any fucking way.
Ned's death was actually the point where I was like hooked. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, yo, this is really good. This is really good. Really
Rob
good.
Stark.
They offed him, and I was like, son, this is probably the best shit I've ever seen. I didn't think they was gonna do that shit.
And then, if you're like me, you spend another, is it 1 or 2 years, like investing emotionally in Rob Stark, who's going to make this right.
I hated him. Oh, I hated that dude.
I hated that dude
up.
too. He had the perfect opportunities to win.
Just spineless.
Oh,
corny.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, he was the
Hated
guy
him.
I put all my chips in.
Hated Sansa. Couldn't stand Sansa from the beginning.
I still hate Sansa.
Hate her now. Even when she came and saved Jon Snow, I was like, yo, fuck this bitch.
Sansa, I'm on your team. I think you're just fine.
I hated Sansa. Who else did I hate? Cersei. Given everybody hates Cersei.
Yeah, she's
you know what?
hated.
On
One of
that
my guys
topic,
likes her,
though, Joffrey. Oh my God. Joffrey's performance and script and whole package was so amazing. I wasn't able to separate the character from the actor until the actor outlived him.
I hated him so much that I didn't think about none of that shit.
Yeah. It wasn't until afterwards, after he died, I was like, oh, I appreciate what you did for me. Like I felt something around Joffrey.
You know who actually fucking sucked? Who the worst character in this whole show is Euron Greyjoy. that fucking pirate who can teleport around and just wants to get in Cersei's pants.
Dude.
At no point have I been interested by
You're
that
on
guy.
J-Roy had the best like his character was motivated by fucking Cersei, then he fucked Cersei, and then he died. That's an arc I can get on board with.
I'm okay with
And
that.
when he washes up on the beach in the exact same spot where Jaime is,
yeah,
he's like, "I'm gonna take your head to Cersei," and it's like, why? Why? What?
To me-
Why?
to
You're
me,
not gonna. It's
that was
over.
that was a duel that didn't need to happen. Like they were never really at odds. Like
It wasn't set up.
Mm-hmm.
It was. I was like, they've met before, right?
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
Have
But
they?
thank
I
God
don't.
he got
Oh,
stabbed.
they-
in the
I was
same
like-
spot
I was
that
like,
Arya
is
got
your-
stabbed. a
They
couple
met with the
seasons ago.
White, right? When they brought the zombie
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
Cersei,
yeah.
they were on
But-
that
but-
scene.
But that was like a year ago. I'm thinking
before
like,
Before that too.
It's-
He was making fun of his hand and shit.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, if Jamie hid that hand and just went, I'm not Jamie Lannister. Euron probably went, yeah, guess not. I just swam 8 miles and I'm a little out of it.
Make a fountain.
You know how hard it is to swim in shoes.
The one thing I think is unforgivable from the writers though is
Okay.
that Cersei deserved a way worse death than that. Like,
Yup.
she had the easiest way out. She died in like this romantic way, like with her dude.
Would you like to see her
Stark.
slowly
Yeah.
poisoned? Would you like to see her
I would love to see
embarrassed?
Arya stick the needle in her throat like 17 times.
What
Like,
if
that's
Arya wore Jaime's face and
fire?
Yeah,
Fire.
and
That's
then
what I expected. I expected
Yeah.
some kind of twist where
she
Arya
wore
went back to
Jaime's
the
face. Jaime says something to Cersei that warms her heart, and then betrayal, and then you find out it's
Something.
yeah.
You know what one of the best
Something.
moments
It
of the
was-
of the whole series was for me? It was when Arya killed Walder Frey. When she pulled off
Fire.
that fuck.
Oh,
That was
fuck.
one like that's an underrated moment right there because like for 2 years ever since the Red Wedding, like whenever we would discuss this show, we're all big fans obviously. I'd be like, people would be like, well, when are the dragons going to do this? And what's going to happen in this city over in Essos? And what's Rob going to, or what's Jon Snow going to do if he becomes Lord Commander? And I'm just like, I don't give a fuck about any of that. When are we going to deal with those fucking Freys? They're still fucking down there chilling in their castle laughing about this shit.
With their silly ass hats. God, I hated their hats.
I hate those hats.
Their whole costume's bad.
I was mad because they killed off one of the. I got two of the most beautiful women on the show was Missandei to me, and then Rob Stark's girl, the new one he befriended. She was bad.
The
And
redhead, the northerner.
No, the
No,
one
no, no.
that
Rob
Rob
Stark's
marries when he's
Rob-
not supposed
Oh,
to marry.
Rob Stark's girl. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Yeah, he got stabbed in the
Belly.
pregnant stomach. Yeah,
That was the
Yes.
best part of the whole series.
That
The
shit
best
was-
part of the whole series was
I
the
think
Red
we
Wedding.
just learned about Arian's other porn fetish. The hottest chick was the pregnant one, man. Like Rob Stark's girl, she got big.
pregnant and old women. Nothing's better than an old pregnant woman.
Ooh, yeah, this baby's probably going to have Down syndrome.
Oh no!
Like a blonde Chinese, they rare.
Like a blonde Chinese.
They are though.
Yeah, they are.
I never
baby's
thought of
Never heard of that. Not natural, anyway.
You know
Is
what
that
else was
natural?
weird with it was
Google that
the
real quick.
like I felt like
You can
it was
Google
pretty
it.
established that after the Battle of Winterfell that Dany's army had been demolished. Like the Unsullied had been slaughtered.
Mhm.
The Dothraki, thousands and thousands of them wiped out. And then now, even in like the teaser for the next episode after this episode, like she's got a huge army again. It's like I don't know. It just felt
Dude,
like
beyond that, she had a huge army, like you said. But I felt like at the end of the Battle of Winterfell, we didn't know what they had. Like, we didn't think they would beat Cersei. That was a real question. And I want to say even the characters were like, dude, this is a whole other thing now. Cersei's plan of wiping us out and not being able to beat her is a problem. And then they're doing the strategizing, and they acted like it was even, like it could go either way. But then by 2 episodes ago, suddenly they're like, look, you should really just quit. We all know how this ends. We are so OP compared to you. And they were. 8 minutes in, they're like ringing the bells. And it wasn't even close.
It
Well,
wasn't
by the-
even. It
and by
wasn't
the
a
way-
fight at all. Like one dragon is so fucking overpowered that like
Depending on the
whole-
episode.
yeah.
I
That's what
really
bothered
like
me.
Cersei. One thing I did kind of like was Cersei's reaction. She was like, "Well, Euron, he's killed a dragon before. he'll kill another one, and he's like, my queen, the Ironborn fleet is burning at the bottom of the bay. Oh, well, we have plenty of scorpions on the walls, my lady. All of the scorpions have been destroyed. Well, the Golden Company has never been defeated in the field of my lady. The Golden Company were burnt, and then the survivors were raped to death
by the cockless man.
The Lannister army fights better than any sellsword. My lady, the Lannister army has thrown down their weapons, and then they were slaughtered by the Northmen, and then they were raped by the.
But there's one more part. I wanted to see if you went there, because the next thing she said was, "Well, the Red Keep has never fallen," and it's like, how'd you get here, bitch? You and Robert Baratheon made the Red Keep fall. How can you did it? How did you forget what you did?
Aside from me, a few years ago, this has never fallen.
And aside from my
the army
father,
that made it fall is being absolutely raped. So
aside from me a few years ago, and then my father a few years before that, never. Oh, and then that time way before that when the Targaryens did it. But I mean, just the 3 times before now, like the other. Like, come on,
Nah, she was.
I want a little bit of a positive spin on the episode. I know Arian liked it. Like, what was the stuff that you liked about it?
I liked the fight scene. I liked that Cersei died. I did like that, but I just didn't like how she died. She deserved, like I said, a more.
Did Grey Worm die?
No,
Grey Worm did not die. No,
he should have. I don't give a fuck about that dude.
You don't like Grey Worm? I love.
No, I think we're going to see the
boring.
rest of his character arc. I want to see bad guy Grey Worm and how he finishes.
1,000%. But side note, I found out he does music and it's fucking dope. It's really dope, man. Somebody
I found out he has a dick in real life.
And it's dope.
Found that out,
It is dope.
And it's fucking.
But anyway, no, sorry, I stepped on what Arian was saying. Go ahead.
No, I liked it. It's like I said earlier. I don't look at it like I would have done this or they. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed the episode. This has taken years from my life, and I appreciate that they. I'm mad it's ending this coming Sunday.
I want people to say this about D&D. They do a book adaptation better than anyone has done a book adaptation, perhaps in the history of cinema. And that's what I'm describing. Also, it's literally why I threw in perhaps, because that was also very good. And
Harry
now
Potter.
what they don't do is like original work, and that's what they did with the last couple seasons. So
I refuse to read anything that I'm not going to learn from.
Hollywood, I know you're watching. Use D&D for book adaptations and not for like grass field open projects.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I hope happens next episode. I hope Tyrion's in big fucking trouble for letting Jaime go, and there is a trial by combat, and she chooses Grey Worm as her champion, and Jon Snow steps up for Tyrion, and Grey Worm and Jon Snow fucking kills Grey Worm.
I like it.
And then he kills Dany, and then he takes the Black. And the kingdom ends up being ruled by like some sort of fucking tribunal or some shit made up of like Samwell Tarly, like fucking.
No, if it's Sam or Bran who get put in charge, especially like Sam. Well, Sam's not going to get put in charge because he doesn't even he's not even good enough for his own family apparently. But if they're like, well,
they're all dead.
The Starks, John wants to go take the Black, and so who are the other Starks? Oh well, Bran, this fucking weirdo, is the oldest male. I guess he gets to be in charge. Like
he's on my nerves. He's on my nerves.
Which one?
Man. All this Bran, whatever.
Okay.
Bran.
Okay.
It's all this cryptic shit, man. Just say you're talking in poems and shit. Like, tell me what's happening, bro. Tell me what is happening.
Yeah.
Just,
lay it out like you just saw the episode.
Yeah, bro. It's like,
if I tell you what's going on,
I tried to ask him what we should do in the battle, but he told me a riddle.
Quick, I need some help. What walks on 2 legs as an adult and 3 legs as a child?
And it's his fault. The whole shit was rushed anyway.
Bran is annoying as shit.
Bum.
He has given no useful advice to anyone.
Zero.
And I hope that they just wheel him into a corner and facing a wall. That's the last that we see of Bran.
They just throw a broomstick down behind his wheels and walk away.
try and move this.
Horrible. That's so funny.
Dude, no, fuck Bran. It would be so funny if nothing ended up happening with him, though, where it was just a whole storyline.
Nothing's going to.
Kyle, have you seen the spoilers?
I think that he might end up as being like
no, I don't
ruler.
watch spoilers. I don't watch the teaser for the next episode.
I'm with you, but I couldn't.
Did spoilers leak?
There are spoilers on Reddit. They have proven to be reliable thus far, and I'm not going to say any more.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. But my lady had a theory that was interesting. She thinks, just a couple things. She thinks that Bronn was actually the Night King, and she went into a reason why it was pretty dope.
Did you mean Bronn, the sellsword, or
Bran,
the kid?
The wheelchair cat.
Oh, Bran. Bran. Because there's a Bronn, too. That's why.
That's the guy. I hate this dude. But, and then she said she feels like Arya is going to kill Dany. That would be dope. I'll be okay with that.
I want to see Gendry run shit. That's my if Woody were king.
He the redhead?
No. Gendry is the one that fucked Arya.
Oh no, he weak.
Oh, he's not
Yeah.
weak.
I don't like him that much.
He's
either.
a Baratheon. He has a claim to the throne that's not from a line of madness. And
Swords, bro.
What'd you say? He makes what?
He makes swords.
He
has
makes
no skin in the
swords.
game.
He fights.
No skin in the
He
He got his first piece of tail and he got hooked like that.
that was his second piece of tail. It was actually his third. It's part of the story, or fourth.
I think he
but he
was
also
solid.
fucked
He's a real
smoke
triathlete.
Virginia.
If you think about it. He is a medieval triathlete. He's a long distance runner, long distance paddler. I don't know what the third one would be, but
Hammerer.
hammerer.
I like it.
Simp.
God, I'm glad the show's fucking over.
You're so bad. Don't you want to like the show?
I don't hate it that much.
It's
Like
bad.
I'm not angry about it.
It's
I'm
literally the
just
best thing on
disappointed.
TV right now. It's just not as good as Game of Thrones.
Yeah, don't let it leave with a sour taste in your mouth, dog. Remember it for what it was and how it pulled you in all these years. You literally, we sat here for what, I don't know how long, 30 minutes talking about intricacies of the character plots. And like, I had you, bro. Don't give me that shit.
It was good. Now it's bad. It's and what they're doing now spoils the rest. I won't share this with people now in the future. Like in the future, I like to this day, Sopranos has been off the air for what, 10 years? I still go, no, watch The Sopranos. I still go, watch The Wire. I'm never going to tell somebody else to watch Game of Thrones. I'm never going to be like, watch Game of Thrones. You won't believe this show. Because they're going to get like to the sixth season, and they're going to be like, well, what the fuck happened?
You're right. I remember 5 seasons in, I'd meet someone who didn't watch Game of Thrones, and I was excited like I met a virgin who didn't realize there was something cool out there. Like, dude, you're gonna love this, right? That's what sex is, and that's what Game of Thrones. Like, dude, you don't know, but I envy that you have this life experience that you haven't started on yet, and now it's still good.
Yeah, I'm not going to recommend it to people. I wouldn't recommend Game of Thrones to someone to watch as a good show. Because
I
The
would
first
too.
seasons are still so good though.
And even with the ending the way that it's ending, I think that it's a top 5-10 show.
No question. Not even clear. Of course it is.
Yeah,
of course it is.
Yeah, it's not like,
Even with a shitty ending, it's still better than most stuff. But if fucking Daenerys survives, I will be pissed. But if anybody but Jon kills her, I also will not like that at all.
I'm okay
really,
with,
I would be happy if we got a little twist there, right? Jon has been the good guy, the hero, the perfect person for 8 years now. Let Brienne kill her.
No, Brienne's up north. Just
Taylor, there's fast travel in this game. That doesn't mean anything. She could have ran for 6 days.
I'm okay with Jon Snow dying too. You're way too good, bro. You gotta cut that shit out.
I hear you.
If he goes back to the wall, what would be the point? What would be the point of that? What are they protecting it from now?
That'd be gross.
Yeah, that would be gross.
Yeah, it wouldn't be wildlings. Yeah, that would be illogical for him to go back.
Yeah, that would be gold-plated retardation.
He didn't like the wall. Like, I don't know.
He liked being in the Night's Watch.
Night's Watch.
It kind of killed him.
Watch. Well, I mean, but he liked being in charge of it, and he was all honorable about it. Well, honorable.
I
but
don't
then he
remember
also-
him enjoying his
Everything,
Night's
though.
Watch experience like you do. I remember him always having something horribly wrong. He wasn't a fighter. He was like a cook or cleaner or something like that. He wasn't a leader until he was
Steward.
all the steward. Thank you. He had personality conflicts with people all over the place. Like I don't remember him enjoying his Night's Watch time.
I hope we get to watch Sam die.
Yeah, he pissed me off. at
Maybe
the
of
end, too.
starvation.
Well,
It could take oh, surprise! There's 30 more episodes because Sam's got some stored up energy.